What's going on, everybody? This is John Jake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Memphis Dynasty here on NCAA 12, one of the underrated NCAA games that we got going on right here, man. And we are out here and we're starting season number 4, man. We are coming out. We're a 4-star program now. We're starting to get some national attention. And we're going to start this season against a Power 5 opponent. And not only any Power 5 opponent, but this is where our offensive coordinator went last season. He did end up taking the head coaching job for them. So Duke's off to a rough start, though. They're 0-1. We haven't played a single game yet, but we're just about even. They're the overall squad. We're the overall squad, too. Kirk Herbstreit is going to be rocking with us as we're getting ready to get things rolling here in this season. They are coming off a loss, though, from Louisiana Lafayette. That's what they call themselves now. They lost 14-24 in his coaching debut, but I'm really excited about this game, and I hope you guys are as well. So do need you guys to do me a favor, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button for me real fast so that we can grow this college football community that we got going on here right now. And before we go and jump into this gameplay, let's review the custom prospects that you guys submitted for this series and are coming in as freshmen. Now, during the course of getting your guys' customs in, there was actually multiple of you guys that wanted the same player, and this was multiple times. So even if I didn't get you with the exact player that you want, I did get everybody that did submit a custom guy into this series in some way, shape, or form. So with that being said, we're going to start at the quarterback position. We got Rod Robertson. He is going to be redshirted this year, but he comes in as a free star from Harriman, Tennessee. At the running back position, we got Ploufington. He's going to be a true freshman from Henderson, North Carolina, also being redshirted this year. As for the wide receiver spot, we got a name change, as this was originally J.D. Brooks. He's now Bill Billiam, who is one of your guys' customs now, was redshirted last year. And somebody that is also going to be redshirted, he's at the bottom of the depth chart, is L.J. Alexander from Monterey, Georgia. For the tight end position, we have a custom that will be starting next year, but will be the backup here in year number 4. It's D'Angelo Bryden. He is a true freshman from Maitland, Florida. Over on the defensive side of the football, we got a starter here on defensive end, and that is Chase Gentry. He's a pass rusher from New Albany, Mississippi. As for the linebackers, we got Caleb Meyer playing a left outside linebacker. He's a coverage guy from Douglas, Georgia, who can get some occasional playing time. At the cornerback position, I did redshirt Eddie Coolbeans, but he's someone I'm going to be really excited about working with through upcoming seasons. I really love his upside in particular. And for the last of the skill positions, we got BB Carr. He's going to be a true freshman from Waycross, Georgia. Will be starting as a backup behind fellow custom Eric Davis. And the last custom that we brought in is Tommy Watts. He is a accurate kicker from Canyon Lake, Texas. He'll not only be our punter, but also our kicker this upcoming season. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time. I'll catch you guys on the field for our home opening game against the Duke Blue Devils, taking on our former coordinator. Let's get it done, boys. Alright, boys, so the very first possession of the season. And let's go ahead and see what we got in our offense. Lots of new faces as Riley Bell is going to step up in the pocket. First pass as our new starting quarterback makes a nice read, steps up in the pocket, is going to pick up a first down. But I still want to incorporate this running game into our offense, even though we can open up the playbook a little bit. Riley Bell does fit what we want to run in terms of all the option plays that we have in the spread. We now feel like we can do that. As now, 1st and 10 as we're across midfield. As Bell's going to look around. He's going to find Jamarcus Mitchell up the middle of the field. And that will get your Memphis Tigers into the red zone for the very first time in the season. We'll see if we can get our first red zone trip ending in a good old-fashioned touchdown. And that's a great throw to get that out route completed. We will go ahead and run a no-huddle offense quickly because I wasn't sure if that actually was in bounds or not. I was actually not too terribly sure, but we do get another play off, and now it's not a reviewable play. So you love to see that. As now that's going to be a 3rd and goal. Bell's going to drop back the pass. He's going to throw it out to the right-hand side, trying to set it up for Justin Burton. But Duke was all over that play. And Tyler Lyatt, our new punter, now kicker too, he's going to take his first career field goal attempt, and he's going to make it. And he will get that field goal attempt to go. So we will have a 3-0 lead. As now we'll see what this offensive coordinator of ours, now head coach for Duke, let's see what he can cook up on the offensive end. He's going to start with a big throw down the right-hand side, and we get cooked like a filet mignon. That's going to be a 1st down for the Duke Blue Devils. And that was a 50-yard gain as well. That man had a massive play there on the ball. And now Duke in effective field goal range themselves. Looking to drive, throwing over the middle, and it's caught. That pass will also be completed. And it didn't take very long at all. But Duke will find themselves in field goal range. Or not just in field goal range. We're talking about the red zone, baby. As they'll run the ball up the right-hand side, trying to catch our defense off guard. But A.J. Kaysen's going to come in and make a play that will make it 2nd and 14. As now, throwing over to the right-hand side. He has an open receiver. Runs through our defender, too. Mike Nugent trying to bring down a tight end. But got to spend a little bit more time in the weight room, my guy. Because that is straight up embarrassing. Getting ran over and giving up that touchdown, too. And not only that, our offense will go free now on the next possession. So it was not very long until Duke gets the football once again. But we're going to be able to bring down this quarterback here as we have a couple of missed tackles. Only one last line of defense. Can Mason catch him? He can't, but Mike Nugent does come in from behind. Finally brings him down. Duke is not messing around. They know the weaknesses of our defense for sure. Given that this coach has worked with these players for our practices, and is certainly showing, and the inexperience on the defensive line also showing as well. 2 true freshmen starting on that defensive line. Could be some growing pains here as we go through the course of this season. At least there was a misfire there. So now 3rd and long for the Duke Blue Devils as we try to hold them to just a field goal and try to keep it to just a 1-possession game. And sure enough, A.J. Kaysen blows up the halfback draw. He is not fooled. He's an experienced college football player. And now Duke will settle for a field goal. And the field goal attempt, that field goal attempt's actually going to be no good. Dude had the distance. He had the proper distance, just missed it to the right-hand side. So it not only does remain a 1-possession game, we also do manage to keep it a 4-point game. So now we try to get back at it as we went free and out our last possession. Hopefully that won't happen. Here is Justin Brown, nearly able to make it to the 1st down marker off a halfback screen. Just trying to get our quarterback a little bit more comfortable. As on a 3rd and short, we're going to go with the halfback dive with our top offensive player, Justin Brown, who follows the blocks upfield. And tough running, but able to get well past that 1st down marker. That'll allow us to continue to drive. And when in doubt, it feels always good to establish that run game. And sure enough, Justin Brown starting to heat up a little bit. He's going to pick up a gain of 6 on that halfback stretch. But we're now going to try to go with a quarterback wrap. And this is something I want to add into the playbook. It's always been in our playbook since we do run a spread offense. But now that we have a mobile quarterback, I do want to utilize that a little bit more often. But that time the quarterback wrap does not work out very well for us. And we'll try to run for the 1st down marker, try to bamboozle them with the halfback draw. And it almost works. It really does almost work, but that will end up allowing us to punt the football away, unfortunately. So our defense is back out onto the field, and our inability to get pressure on this quarterback. Like I said, we got 1 to 2 defensive linemen starting as true freshmen. There's going to be some lines like that where they're going to have all time to throw the football. Hopefully our corners are ready for that, and they grow and mature because it's a younger DB room too. Definitely got some younger guys, some sophomores, some freshmen that are being asked to step up. As now, 2nd and 5 coming up from the 35-yard line. They will go back to passing the football yet again. We do a little bit better job getting pressure, but still able to calmly deliver that football. And it's yet another first down for the Duke Blue Devils, who really love the idea of going no huddle. They're really trying to run us off the field right now. And sure enough, they call a wide receiver screen. We do struggle with that at times, and they got us there pretty well. But our defense wises up, and we got him to a 3rd and 14. Dropping back. It's going to run out of time, though. It's going to be an overthrow. We will force them to punt this football away. So a nice stand by our defense. And not only that, we got a great punt return from Justin Brown. So we'll be set up inside the 25-yard line to start this drive, as we do typically show, actually we usually simulate those special teams, so that's why you don't really see anything happening with punts or kickoffs or anything like that. We're going to go 5 wide here, and look at this wide open hole. Bell is an athletic quarterback, and he will take advantage of that in the final play of that first quarter of action. Which is first quarter of football here in season number 4. We're in a pretty competitive game so far. Duke is up on us 7-3 right now, but I do like how we're driving down the field on this drive we got going on right now. Let's see if we can go ahead and finish this drive off and take the lead. So now second quarter of action officially underway as we go play action. Bell's going to look over the middle of the field, and we find St. Thomas, the custom. He's going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. And how about that? St. Thomas, somebody that did not see the field much in the first couple of seasons here on the team. But hopefully he can open things up for our squad, as did have our 2 top receivers graduate. So going to need those younger custom guys. Jody Gentry, St. Thomas, Luke McConnell. Those guys will need to step up. And speaking of stepping up, our defense forced a 3 and out, so not very long before we got the ball again. 3rd and long here on the 45-yard line. So we're trying to make something shake. We fire down the right-hand side, and St. Thomas does get himself open. That's what I'm talking about in terms of guys stepping up. That is a big-time play that we just saw there. Now we're in the red zone, looking to make this a 2-score game. Brown runs it up the middle of the field. He's going to pick up a gain of 5. A good, strong run from Justin Brown. As we'll look to run it with, no, not Justin Brown, but Tufington. He checks into the game, and Tufington, he's going to finish the drive. Touchdown, Memphis. And just like that, we go ahead and make this a 2-score game. Now 17-7 will be your score as of right now. But Duke, man, they are not going to give up. Matter of fact, we give up a big play downfield. Davis trying to catch him down the sideline. Actually, Daniel has to come from the opposite safety spot to finally tackle him out of bounds. And that's just a case of just bad tackling there, causing those mistakes. But we do at least get him to another 3rd down. 3rd and 7 from the 10-yard line. Dropping back, looking to the left-hand side, and we get fooled on the wheel route. We can't get over in time, and Duke does go ahead and make it a 1-score game. Guy that's supposed to cover in the cover 2 got sucked in by that inside route. So now we go back to work, and it looks like we originally had a screen plan, but they are pressing up pretty aggressively. We're going to try to go for it down the middle of the field, and we got Justin Brown open. He's got a ton of speed, pulling away from the rest of the defense, and that's going to be a touchdown for your Memphis Tigers. Let's go, baby. That is what I'm talking about, man. Justin Brown making that big-time play, and he knew that he had it in the bag. He's just going to calmly get himself back to the sideline. So 14-24 game as we force yet another 3 and out. Justin Brown trying to get a little bit of love. We actually tried to set up the option there, but that option did not work very well at all. And running the option is a little bit different in NCAA 12 than it is in 14. You know, you don't usually get like the read icon in 14, So it's a little bit harder to read the defense, right? So it's taking a little bit to get used to, but we just got to be a smart football player because of that. And speaking of being smart, we get it out to St. Thomas down the sideline. He's got a lot of space to 30, to 25, and oh, he almost got past that last defender. Oh, I thought he was taking that to the crib for a second. Still a great play, though, as we find ourselves in field goal range. As we try to throw on 2nd and 10, looking for St. Thomas, but he does drop that football for us. So 3rd and long now, although we have been decent on 3rd down so far. Brown's going to go ahead and get the carry up the middle of the field. We got some space to work with. Brown able to not only get up the 1st down, but he gets a touchdown as well. Justin Brown punching it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. So a 31-14 lead here with less than a couple of minutes left to play in that first half of action. Can we stop the Duke Blue Devils and carry some serious momentum into the halftime locker room? And I'm not too terribly sure. That was not good coverage there. And usually we do a better job of covering those halfback screens. But again, a young defensive line. So we're going to have to get some used to halfback screens. Probably a little bit better disguised in the college game than it is in the high school game. So now 2nd and 13 coming up as looks like they do set up another screen. This time we are slightly better prepared, except we had some bad tackling. Mike Nugent, last line of defense, does bring him down from behind. And the Duke Blue Devils will immediately take a timeout there. They will have one timeout left to work with, but I'm sure they're thinking about the end zone. Quarterback's going to try to run for it. Kraft can't bring him down, and he will punch it in all by himself. Russell doing the dirty work. The clear definition of a good old-fashioned shootout. 38-21 is going to be your score. We actually do get a kick return for a touchdown. That was Justin Brown that did bring that back. So it is back to being a 17-point game as Duke once again will try to get points before the end of the half. And again, they start to drive out with a really big play. I don't know what we're accomplishing here, boys, but we are just not playing up to the typical standard that we have on the defensive side of the football. As Russell, trying to scramble out, might have gotten away with a potential face mask, but the officials did not see it. Therefore, they did not throw the flag. So now, 3rd and short here as Russell might try to run here. He will take off. We got sort of a spy. It does work a little bit better in terms of preventing him from running. But that being said, Duke will go back into their no huddle. 12 seconds left here in this first half of action. Dropping back, looking over to the left-hand side, and somehow comes down with it. Dan Daniel was there, but over-pursued on the play. And it sets up this last second field goal attempt, which is up. And that will end up being good. So Duke will end up cutting the lead down to 14 points. As that will take us into the end of the first half. It's been a very exciting, particularly second quarter. However, we are going to be up 38-24. Would have loved to play a lot better on defense. Felt there's a lot of big-time plays that we gave up. But at least our offense is humming at an all-time high. So now we go into the second half of action. And since we did start with the football to begin this game, we will end up giving the ball to Duke to start this second half as they try to set up the option here to start this second half, but already playing a lot better. Looks like we had Josh Meadows and company coming in there to combine on the tackle. So a 2nd and long coming up for the Duke Blue Devils as Daniel Russell's going to drop back. He's going to fire to his trusty tight end as he'll pick up a bunch of yards. Makes up for the lost yardage and a lot more there. It's now going to be 3rd and 3. Russell in the shotgun, looking to drop back, fires over the middle of the field, and his receiver hangs on and makes the catch. Daniel making a play in the ball, but it will be a first down for the Duke Blue Devils as they'll continue to drive and therefore continue to no huddle attack. Russell looks over to the right-hand side. He breaks one tackle, does not break a second tackle as Ed Russell does bring him out of bounds that time. But that's what I'm talking about, giving up these bigger plays gonna have to see our defense grow tremendously if we want to improve on the 9-4 season that we had last year. It looks like our defense defensively, guys, it might be a long season. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It could very well be a long and difficult season because we missed one tackle, and then there was a bunch of other guys that could have made a play but just took some really bad angles. So we're only up by a touchdown now. We've been great on offense, but we're only up by a touchdown at the moment. However, that will not last much longer, though, as we find Willie Duckett to start our next drive. And that's a one-hitter quitter. That's what my wife tells me. And that's going to be a touchdown for the Memphis Tigers. Oh, we need one singular play to make it a two-score game once again, as that was certainly a beautiful job by Willie Duckett to get behind the coverage. So now 45-31 does end up being your score. We do force the 3 and out, as it looks like we're going to try to roll to the right with Riley Bell. And Bell makes a great throw to Jamarcus Mitchell. Haven't heard his name in a while, but he got behind the defense too. Duke's secondary not coming ready to play, giving us a lot of easy looks, making it easy for us to move the ball down the field. And we got ourselves a face mask penalty too. Certainly helps our cause quite a bit as we score in the next play. That will be another touchdown for the Memphis Tigers. This one being Willie Duckett getting his way into the end zone there. And we still have a whole quarter left to play. No, we have almost a quarter and a half left to play, and we already put up a 50 burger. That's how insane that we've been playing. Almost makes me want to go for 100. I really want to see if we can actually make that happen or not, but we'll get Justin Brown the football here. He'll pick up a good chunk of yardage, because one thing that I do want to do now that we have a free score lead, and given how our defense has been playing, I want to try to have a little bit better ball control. I want to make sure that there isn't nearly enough time to make a comeback happen. Still obviously want to score. That's the goal of every offensive drive, obviously. This time I'm just not in really much of a hurry, right? But if those big shots are open, we're definitely still going to take them as we're looking down the field. Bell looking around, trying to get it out to Jamarcus Mitchell on the underneath, but that will be a misfire that was directly created by the pressure. And now we'll look back on a 2nd and 10, trying to scramble a little bit, but then we'll get it out to St. Thomas, who does make the diving catch for the first down. Except it won't count. It straight up will not count because our true freshman, Darren Rich, he gets called for the holding penalty. So it's now going to be 2nd and 20 instead, as Brown is going to drop back. He's going to find St. Thomas. Does get us a little bit closer to the first down marker, but 3rd and 15 is going to be very far from ideal, right? We're going to need a big-time play. We'll see if somebody can get it to us, as maybe St. Thomas can do something here for us. Looking downfield, we go over. Fine, Mitchell. And Jamarcus Mitchell got his face mask pulled. We'll see if they actually call it or not. And sure enough, they will call the personal foul. John Washington, the guilty party. And because of that, that keeps our drive going. You love to see it, man. So sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is to be good. And boy, are we pretty lucky with that right now. But that luck does not last very long, though. We could move the ball any further downfield, so we'll settle for another field goal. This is Wyatt's 2nd field goal of the game, and Wyatt does sink it right through the uprights. That is going to be good. So we do increase our lead a little bit, now giving ourselves a 24-point lead that we can personally enjoy. So our offense comes out onto the field yet again, as our defense played a little bit better here in this 3rd quarter. They force yet another 3 and out. So we come back onto a field with our offensive attack. And listen, we can score in this next drive, get ourselves a touchdown on the board. Maybe we can start thinking about getting the backups in. Usually if it's 30 plus is when I want to get those backups into the game. But I also want to make sure that we do a little bit better job running those option plays. And we do pick up the first down with the option for the very first time in this series. No, actually technically the 2nd time but Riley Bell did make it really hard. We nearly did not pick that up. So we go back to a more traditional running game, though, as Justin Brown busts this one wide open, and he'll pick up a first down. Going to take it across the 35-yard line. Sneak it in on field goal range a little bit more now, as Bell drops back. He's going to try to scramble. Thought about it for a second. He's going to run. Bell taking off down the sideline. We'll have him slide at the very last second. Could he have had made that? Maybe, but I get goosebumps, from NCAA 14, right? Quarterback, whenever he's outside the pocket, whenever he's running for his life, there's a higher probability of fumbling that football, and I just didn't want to take that risk, right? So, second and goal coming up here. We'll try to pass forward as looks like nothing's really open downfield. I tried to move up in the pocket so I can set myself up to scramble, but that doesn't work out. So, third and goal is going to be coming up instead. Will be the last play of the third quarter that we will be going ahead and enjoying. Trying to throw it up to Willie Duckett. Probably should have waited. And that's going to be on the third quarter. Probably not the best read there on that last play, but at least what that does do, we don't put the ball at risk. We can get some more points on the board. We can continue to build on this lead as we're up by 24 after 3 quarters of play. So now we jump into that fourth quarter of action as the Duke Blue Devils find themselves down by 24 points. We'll see if Daniel Russell can get something going here in the second half. It's been a struggle all day long, as this time our defensive tackles combine to make the sack. That's Taylor, and of course the true freshman Matt Scales also in there, making some plays for us too. However, that celebration will be short-lived because on the very next play, we give up a 20 to 25-yard bomb. Don't really like that, how we responded after that sack. And now, 1st and 10. Throwing quickly over to the right-hand side. We do send the blitz, but Duke does have the perfect play call. They get it out quickly. As now, 3rd and 2 coming up. Russell's going to move Sanders into motion. It's going to be a play action, though. Trying to fire over the middle of the field. That's incomplete. That'll be Josh Meadows that got his hands on the ball and nearly intercepted that pass. So 4th and 2 coming up. Looks like Duke will be trying to pass it as they go with a 5 wide receiver set. And Russell does get it out, but their receiver, he goes backwards. He goes backwards on that play. And because of that, we will actually be taking over on downs. And now we're looking at a new possession for us. So let's see if we can finish this game off with a touchdown potentially, but not moving as sharply as maybe what we were doing in those first 2 to 3 quarters. We have slowed things down a little bit, but let's see if we can pick up this first down though. 3rd and 6. Bell's going to drop back, facing pressure from the right-hand side, but does calmly get it out to IT Thomas. And IT Thomas is going to get it to about the 35-yard line. He's somebody that's really impressed me today. He's having a great day so far. The offense really in general having a great day. As we're going to look for another 3rd down to pick up. And there's IT Thomas again. IT Thomas just making some plays for your boy. And that will be another 1st down for your Memphis Tigers. And let's go, man. You love to see it. So now 2nd and 7 coming up as Bell is going to go ahead and move things around here and trying to set up some space over the middle of the field. However, nothing's open downfield. But we're trying to reach out to IT Thomas again. But we overthrow our receiver. We try to lead him into the end zone. Just couldn't work out for us. So now, 3rd and 7. We'll see if we can pick up this 1st down yet again. Bell, if a 5 wide set, dropping back. Looks over the middle of the field, but it's going to be deflected away. Did an IT open, however, was deflected at the line of scrimmage, so wasn't meant to be. And we did have to settle for another field goal, which I didn't love, but what I do love, 5 minutes left in this game, we're up by 30 points. I would not expect that after the way that we started things out. We're able to get those backups in last half of that 4th quarter. Get our younger players that aren't getting a chance to start right away, give them the opportunity, to get some college football playing time. And that's what we did. Riley Bell doing a great job leading the offense here today. He's going to start his era being the starting quarterback for this football team. He's going to start it off on an extremely high note. So, man, this game was absolutely insane. A game that we saw, what was it? Close to 100 points scored? Like, are you kidding me right now? But, hey, we find a way to win this game, and Riley Bell looked really good in his first start. 17 for 28, 370 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions either. Even got a chance to get the backups in the game halfway through the fourth quarter as well. But someone who was a menace to society in this game was Justin Brown. Man, was he dangerous in this one. 18 carries for 108 yards. Did have a touchdown on the ground. Tufington, our backup running back, he ends up with 12 carries, 60 yards, and a couple of touchdowns as well as this one. Receivers, though, I'm impressed with how this receiving core has developed. Justin Brown did get a touchdown grab. He had 2 catches for 80 yards. Dude did just about everything. You know, wait until you see these kick return numbers. But St. Thomas really had a breakout game in my opinion. 6 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. Louis Duckett also had a big catch as well. 4 catches, 117 yards. Multiple touchdowns too. That's the impressive part in all of this. Dude was balling out. Now, defensively, wasn't what I wanted to see, at least in that first half. I thought we did a good job settling in once we got into the second half of action, but giving up 31 points, we could get away with Duke, but that's not going to help us win a lot of games. You know, we're not going to always explode like this, but there was some bright spots in this game. AJ Kaysen led the team in tackles. He had 7 solo tackles in this one. Eric Davis, one of our customs, and LaRue Nugent also had 6 solo tackles apiece. We also did a decent job getting to the quarterback today as well in this one. We did end up with 3 total sacks, half of which coming from our freshman, Matt Scales, playing in his first college game. He had 1 solo, 2 assisted tackles, and 1.5 sacks too to go with that. AJ Kaysen also managed to get a sack, and I don't know why the game does it, but it puts the half sack guys like towards the bottom. So Pat Taylor, he's our senior elder statesman on the defensive line. He did end up getting half a sack too. Looking real quick to see if we forced any turnovers. It looks like we did not have any interceptions. We did force a couple of fumbles on special teams. Greg Copeland and LaRue Nugent, they both had forced fumbles, and they were both recovered by our guys. So loved what we did on special teams, but again, gotta play a lot better on defense because the team that we're about to play in the next episode, we might not be able to get away with that. Alright guys, but before I reveal who we play in the next episode, we do get a nice little recruiting update. We're already off to a better start in recruiting than where we were last year, as we get a free star to sign on the dotted line already. Edmund Ramsey, he's a free-star defensive end from Scottsdale, Georgia. He's a pass rusher too, and getting him this early in the recruiting cycle allows us to put more time and effort into higher priority recruits, as we're getting in some heated recruiting battles here, which I'll talk about in the next episode. But in the meantime though, this is who we got coming to town. We're taking on the Ole Miss Rebels. They're ranked number 10 in the entire country. They're not playing any games. This is a rivalry game for us, and we got them coming to our home stadium. Big test for our program to see if we can handle the might of the SEC. So I'll leave this for next episode, but I hope you guys are excited about this episode as well. As if you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button for me, hit that subscribe button for me as well if you have to be brand new to the channel. This is John J. Gaming on the mic signing off, but hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.